Welcome to my healing world. My name is Monica. I live in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and I am collagen babe. Today is solar eclipse, new moon in Libra. And yesterday I had a fall. I have this habit of falling around eclipses. I did it in Bali, where I had fallen from fainting. I had heat stroke as well as Bali belly, and so I fell and I broke my nose and I blackened my eyes and I knocked out a tooth. So yesterday I had a repeat of hitting my mouth. I was helping a friend move homes and I was carrying a box up a hill and I stepped on the pavement and I fell and I landed on my face again. This is my 5th time of hitting my teeth. I've knocked out 2 teeth in my life. And it brings back, of course, a lot of memories of why me. And I realize that it's caused me emotional whiplash in my life because, again, you're dealing with my mouth feels numb where it's hit. There's a big bump here because the impact was so hard that it jarred me. I said to God, I'm here helping a friend move, and I'm not able to help because I was, again, in shock. And it reminded me of falling off the Grand Canyon in 1992, where I had this feeling of, oh, my worth is how I can help people, how I can be able to carry my own bags. I remember having a broken back and, having a concussion, and I still wanted to carry my own 50-pound backpack because I didn't want to feel less than valuable to the others who were on this rafting trip with me. Yet now, 30 years later, I understand that I still have those feelings of wanting to be worthy of another person's attention by being able to swing my own weight, even though I am not feeling well. In fact, I was injured. And I think about all the people around the world now who are under flood conditions or earthquakes or war, and what they have to deal with in managing the shock of having your life be one of service and then one of service to themselves as they manage the shock of being underwater, shook, or bombed. And so on this day of a solar eclipse in Libra, we're asked to cut the ties to the past and just be the moment of the present. And I've been injured. I've lived with wounds and broken bones. And I know how hard it is to go forward because you're questioning the past. All those memories come back through me. I can't study enough. I can't take enough supplements. I can't I can't do all the right things to keep me going, because in this moment I need to get over the feeling of I am less than. I'm not less than. I'm actually, in human design, I'm a 6-2 emotional generator. And what I've learned in the 2 years of studying human design is that I'm a natural. I was born a natural. They call it also the hermit. So I'm a natural hermit. When I get hurt, I like to go into my own little cave and lick my own wounds. Can I monetize that? I don't know. The world is full of people who are able to sell their ideas to other people and be gifted in return for what they know. I did 20 years of body work to help me with my management of a broken back. T12, lumbar 1. And I've had so many accidents. When I walk into my osteopath's office, he and I both chuckle because, every 6 months I have another accident, and I have to again go stop, full stop, and assess, and then carry on. I've had to learn to trust, which is a natural for a line 2. I naturally trust that God has a mission for me, a plan. I'm in my 60s. I have studied war for my whole life because, in school, that pure warrior in me, as I had my first concussion when I was 7. So there's a person inside of me, even at that age, that wanted to protect my nerves and realize, shaking my head wasn't going to clear the feelings of being hurt. I got sad. And back then, in my sadness, I took my sustenance from food. My father was an amazing cook. And yet 2 years after my concussion, my father died. He was 79 years old, and I was alone without my food supplier. Everything he cooked was from the old culture. Because he was from the old culture, before technology. He died before technology even came onto the planet. So his food was a reflection of, I need this food to keep myself growing old. So I have a lot of charge around food. And I use caffeine and sugar and carbohydrates to get me through. And that's what I'm dialoguing, because in this last year I turned carnivore. In my life I had 80% plant-based foods and 20% meat proteins for 60 years of my life. That's what I was taught. I was taught by my Chinese culture. We have a little bit of meat and a lot of vegetables and a lot of rice. And then I was taught by my, optimized triathlete ex-husband when I was in my 20s and 30s that vegetarian was the way to go if you wanted to optimize your health. And I bought into it hook, line, and sinker. I basically refrained from loving meat for 30 years because everybody was saying that eating more vegetables was the better way. And yet in the last year, and I just wanted to recap because this is, you know, a video about this new moon in Libra. I wanted to give you a short, concise representation of my present moment. You know, I'm delighted that I'm, you know, understanding that that first bite of strip loin is a connection to my ancestral line. When I take that first bite, I understand that it's moving through my body and it's knitting my bones. It's the glue that holds my body together in this 3D matrix. And I have, you know, had the great aha of knowing that my future is going to be full of meat. Because as you can see, even with my boo-boo, that my skin is delightful, full of light. Where before I was always an athletic, pasty, no circulation face. You know, it was always inflamed. And with 14 concussions, I can't afford to have inflamed head. I have to have meat medicine. So I got everything down. I got yesterday I fell and had an emotional whiplash again, physical. You know, it's not a big boob. You know, it's not like I got shot or you know, I had an accident that was, you know, that I needed to go to the hospital for. I was still that 7-year-old girl that fell down and had her first concussion. I was the 18-year-old that fell off her bike and broke a tooth hitting a curb on the street. And now I'm in my 60s and I keep falling. And I have to pick myself up and cut all the ties to the past, knowing that I am a 6 role model and a 2-line natural hermit. I want to explain that I'm in a new modality of understanding how energy works. And I've been studying my whole life energy, because when you have a big hematoma in your head, you know, where the blood is not moving, and basically you have a big bruise inside your skull, you have to actually renegotiate with your nervous system how to move forward. And so yesterday was falling down. I came to a realization of my eclipse lesson. I had actually, on September 4th, I fell out of a tree and I hit my back, just like a snowboarder would, you know, like crash and burn. I was a skier for 20 years, so I know the feeling of you know, bouncing back. I was just younger then, and so I shook it off, saying, okay, I'll heal tonight and I'll get back on the mountain. And the lesson for this eclipse for me is that in the present moment, I am an accumulation of all my skills. I will get up. I will heal. Right now, I'm in shock. And there's an eclipse coming at 11:46 today, and it's going to last 6 hours, and I will keep out of its energy because I understand how powerful eclipses are. I've experienced them, and I study to learn the lesson of the day. And my day today is just to meditate and journal and, reflect on my relationship with this earth reality, my earth mission, and share it with you, because I'm sure there are millions of you who are working through concussions and accidents and failure to thrive. I was listening to CBC yesterday, and I was listening to a residential school warrior. And she said that I want to be considered a warrior. I'm not a survivor. I am a warrior. I'm not a victim of this planet. I am a person who is skilled at moving through and not understanding not understanding that she is not invited to share her abilities with others, because people live in fear of people with knowledge. They would rather trust an authority figure and a computer or some stranger. I don't want to be a stranger to you. I want to be able to speak my voice. I've been silent all my life because I was always in emotional shock. Where is that person that will soothe my pain? Some pains you can get up and it's fine. You don't even register it because it's such a small little nick at your nervous system. Others, though, they're, especially me, everything is aimed at my head. I have always been, with my moon in Aries, I have a documented result of being born with a moon in Aries. And I have a Pisces sun, so deeply spiritual and student of all alternative roads. That's what I've done most of my life. I was a ski bum. I was a hairdresser, very creative. I had the power in my hands, right? And then I was a massage therapist for 20 years. I accumulated all these skills and practices, so I was able to design my life as I pleased. I was paid well in both careers. And now I'm choosing to be a digital creator of information that other people might appreciate. I'm a natural at human design. I plan to study it for the next 20 years. I did 20 years of hairdressing, 20 years of massage work, and now I'll be doing 20 years of human design study because I find it fascinating and I love it so much that I just keep on studying it, and the information that comes out is just profound. So, bear with me as I do my best to capture the moment of my studies. I didn't have that option in the past. We didn't have computers and videos to do this kind of work. So, welcome to my healing world. I love you all so much. Have a great day wherever you are. Keep out of the eclipse as much as you can. Do your work of meditation and study and also cutting the relationships that don't serve you. It's the perfect thing to do during a Libra new moon. New moons are about establishing new habits. So have a great day wherever you are. Om Bhurva Sava Tat Savatur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I chant the Gayatri mantra, the most healing of all Sanskrit mantras. Any prayer, any affirmation said during a eclipse is 1,000 times more potent than any other time.